We are going to first find the segment bisector, and we're going to name it. So in the first problem, the segment bisector is what cuts the segment in half. So you don't have to raise your hand, you just tell me. What cuts this segment JK in half? M. It's going to be a sharp contest here. M. You could say point M or just the capital M. And then, what do these tick marks mean?
That's where
They're congruent. Good. So the length of JM is going to be equal to the length of MK. This is 1.1 to 3 quiz review. So the length of JM is going to equal the length of JK. What is the length of JM according to this picture?
7x plus 5.
7x plus 5. This will be interesting. And the length of MK is 8x. So I always move the smallest x. Which of these is the smaller x? 7x is smaller than 8x. So how do I move 7x across the equal sign? Subtract it on both sides. So on the left side, all I have is 5. On the right side, what is 8x minus 7x? Just x. So x equals 5. Is that my answer? No. Do I double it? No. What do I do with x? Plug it back in. So I'm going to tell you right now, this part is what I'm seeing most people not do. You've got to plug it back in. We, even though it doesn't say it, I'm going to tell you, we're going to find the length of JK. Okay, so the length of JK. So in order to do that, we've got to plug it in. What is 7 times 5? 35 plus 5 is 40. So the length of JM is 40. Same thing over here. 8 times 5 is 40. As it should be, they should be the same. So what is the full length of JK? 80. Okay, so both are your answer. All right, on number 2, we've got a segment bisector. Is it a point, line, plane, ray, segment? It's a line. How many points are on this line? Just one. What is the point? M. Okay, so can I use the arrow notation if I only have 1 point on this line? No. So what would I use to name this line? Line, and then L, the lowercase l up here. Okay. So again, you've got these tick marks, which means that they're congruent. So the length of JM is going to be equal to the length of MK. So according to this, what is the length of JM? 3x plus 15. And the length of MK? 8x plus 25. Okay, so I always move the smaller x, which here would be the 3x. How do I move across the equal sign? Subtract it. So on the left, I only have 15. On the right, I have 8x minus 3x, which is 5x plus 25. I want to get 5x by itself, so how do I move that 25? Subtract it. Subtract the 25. So what is 15 minus 25? Negative 10, and that equals 5x. So my last step, divide by 5, which I think is what you meant. What is negative 10 divided by positive 5? Negative 2. Can your x be negative? Yes, it can. Can your length be negative? No. So again, this question doesn't necessarily say it, but we're going to find the length of JM. We're going to find the length of JM. So on your quiz, it will obviously tell you what you're finding the length of. I just made this, so not just made it, but you know. So find the length of JM. So 3 times negative 2 plus 15. What's 3 times negative 2? Negative 6. What's negative 6 plus 15? 9. So the length of JM is 9. What's a good way that I could check my answer? plug it in. Where would I plug it in? To the what?
Other side.
To the other side. So you could plug it in. Sorry, you can't see the 5. I promise it's there. You could plug it in over here, and it would still equal 9. Okay. This next one is a graphing question. You're not going to draw the graph at this point in time. On your quiz, I will provide a graph, and you will need to graph. But otherwise, right now, you're going to write 3 and then write these 4 points. A is -7, 1. B is -4, 1. C is 3, -5. And D is 3, -2. So you're writing this as your question number 3. Just write down the 4 points. We will graph as a class right now. But I'm not going to wait for you to graph while we review. So every coordinate point is an x and a y. So the x, if the x is positive, what direction will you move?
Right.
To the right. If the x is negative, you will move to the left. If your y is positive, you will move up. And if your y is negative, you will move down. Okay, so let's start. We will do A first, which is -7, 1. From the origin, am I going to go left to right? To the left, how many? 6, 7. And then up or down? Up 1. So A. B is -4, 1. So from the origin, am I going to go left or right? To the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up 1. Yeah. This is a segment. So how can I make it look like a segment on this graph? Draw a line. Sorry that my dot was ugly. It is what it is. C. Yeah, we're going to start at the origin, go to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go down 5. And then D, we're going to go
Over 3, up 2. I mean, down.
down 1, 2. Okay, again, that is a segment. All right, so we need to decide if they're congruent. Congruent is one of your vocabulary words. What does congruent mean? Same what?
Amount of spaces.
Same lengths. Yes. We figure out that it's the same length by counting the spaces. If on your test you write same, you will get it marked wrong. It is same length, and even when we learn about angles, same measure. So same length, same measure. So AB is 1, 2, 3, right? CD is 1, 2, 3. So are they congruent?
Yes.
They are. So on your paper, you're going to write segment AB is congruent to segment CD. What if it wasn't congruent? What would you do? Yeah, you throw a slash in it. Okay. But in this case, it is congruent, so there's no slash. I think this is our last one. Number 4, you're just going to write find the midpoint. So number 4, find the midpoint, and then you'll want to write down your 2 points. So number 4, find the midpoint. And then you'll write down these 2 points. All right, so we're going to use the midpoint formula. It'll load, it'll go black and then load. Sorry. What is the midpoint formula?
X1 plus X2 divided by 2 equals
No equals.
Y1
plus
plus
Y2
Y1 over 2.
divided by
Oh dear. Okay. Yes. You add your x's, divide by 2, comma, add your y's, divide by 2. Highly recommend, some of you do need to label your points. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. But basically you're going to add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, and divide by 2. So what is the first x? -3. And what is the second x? 9. I'm just going to keep going with that. What is -3 plus 9? 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Our first y, 2, and our second y, 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Good. We are going to do 2 more. Sorry. I forgot. Your standard. We do these 2 as well. So this would be 5 and 6. 5 and 6. And then this is it. So go ahead and draw those. I'll give you a minute. This is a plus sign. This is a minus sign. I could draw it. Especially for poor Maya. Do you have good eyesight, Maya? Mm-hmm. That's good. So we're doing these because I did look at some equation skills earlier this week. And we just need a lot of review. We're just going to keep reviewing, and it'll come back to us. I know it's been 5 months since you guys have been in school, so it's been a hot minute. So, number 5, we are going to name the segment bisector again. So, how many points are on this?
2.
There's 2. It's N and M, right? Is it a point, line, plane, ray, segment?
Right.
It is a ray. So when we name a ray, we point the arrow in to the right, and then what will be the first letter? M as in Marshall, and N as in Nugget, because I'm hungry. So that is the segment bisector. After that, we know that XM, the length of XM, is going to be equal to the length of MY. Why do I know that? Yeah, the 2 lines, the congruent dashes. Okay? What is the length of XM? 3x plus 1. And then what is the length of MY?
8x
Sorry, 8x what?
minus 24.
Minus 24. Alright, so I always move the smaller x, which here is 3x. How do I move the 3x? Subtract it. So on the left we only have 1. On the right we have 8x minus 3x, which is... So I want to get 5x all by itself. So that minus 24, what do I do with it? I'm going to add it. 1 plus 24 is? So 25 equals 5x. Divide by 5 and x equals 5. Do I circle that? No. Do I double that? No. Let's find the length of, I don't know, what do y'all want to find the length of? We'll find the length of MY. Again, your quiz will say it. I just found these problems and I liked them. So, plug in x. So x is 5. 8 times 5 minus 24. What's 8 times 5? 40. Minus 24 is 16. So if it asked, what would the length of the whole line be? 32. So if this one is 16, this is also 16, and 16 plus 16 makes 32.
Oh.
All right, this last one we do together. We've got a segment bisector. Is it a point, line, plane, ray, segment? It's a line. How many points are on the line? Just 1 point. So could I say MN with the arrows above? No. What is the only way to name this line? Line N. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing. Because XM, the length of XM, is equal to the length of MY, we're going to plug in. So we've got 5x plus 8 equals 9x plus 12. So what's the smaller x here? 5x. So we're going to subtract it to move it to the right side. What's 9x minus 5x? 4x. What will I move now? How do I move the 12?
Subtract it.
8 minus 12 is? Negative 4 equals 4x. So divide by 4 and x equals? Negative 1. So, what do we want to find now? Let's find the whole line. Let's say xy. So, we're going to plug in negative 1. You could really plug it in anywhere, because they should be equal. What's 5 times negative 1? Negative 5. What's negative 5 plus 8? 3. So the length of xm is 3. You can check on the other side as well, because it should also be 3. What's 9 times negative 1? Negative 9 plus 12 is also 3. So what is the full length of xy? 6. Good. So, you're going to clear your desk of anything besides a pencil and a calculator.